I think she's broken.
I,
I
I
think
think so
she's
too.
busted.
We're gonna get right into
Thank you.
this to save everyone's time. I know everyone's excited to play the new season. Of course, we basically got Marvel Rivals 2 going on. Hey everyone, I'm Jackson. I'm joined by my co-host Sentry. This is the second episode of Rivals Voices. Today we have very two important and influential guests on our podcast today. Thank you so much, Aramori and Cuffy, for taking time out of your day during the big Marvel Rivals 2 update. To come out and do this today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
If you could just tell everyone in the audience a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll get right into all these questions me and Sentry have for you guys today.
All right, you want me to go first, Cuffy, or you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. You can go first.
All right. Hi guys, my name's Aramori. Last year I was a pro player for Sentinels. We won a bunch of stuff, including Stage 1 NA, and yeah, now I'm a content creator for Sentinels, and I play a lot of strategist and a lot of Jubilee today.
And then I'm Cuffy. I'm a coach for Reason Gaming at the moment. I'm competing over in EMEA Ignite. And I also make TikToks, so that's how a lot of you guys probably know me from. But
We love the
TikToks.
TikToks. We do love the
TikToks.
TikToks. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was honestly how this all started was a pretty awesome surprise to me. I kind of just shot my shot with that video, and Cuffy slide in with the perfect comment, and it all kind of just worked out together. So thank you guys both so much for coming on, and thank you Aramori for being pretty tapped in with the underground streamer scene. It's not the first time I've seen you on a smaller content creators area. I saw you gave Love It Yo a microphone. That's pretty cool. His microphone used to suck.
That's
the
my
goat.
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally saved him. Levito told me, it's like, no way Aramori gave me a mic. I was like, Aramori is actually the goat for that. Holy.
Dude,
No,
he was like
you
holding
needed
it
that.
up to hit, like his face whenever he had to talk. He was like doing something, gave him like, oh guys.
He-
This
He
is
had,
so
It's
bad.
he had one
It's so
headphone
bad.
falling off. There was tape on each side. Oh, it was brutal. Oh my.
Yeah,
So
and for like you saying I'm like tapped in with the underground streamer scene. That's my For You page. Like when I scroll, that's all I see is like smaller rivals creators, and I'm low key kind of jealous because I don't. A lot of them are like the sit in front of like your camera and like talk, and I can't do that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I wish I could do content like that. I'm kind of like envious. So yeah, I'm a fan for sure.
At least that's one benefit of TikTok. It's everyone kind of gets a chance to get on the For You page. It's not the first time it's been. I've had a lucky go on a video there, and I think everyone's kind
Yeah.
of gotten that same experience. We're gonna get into the. We have lots of questions for you guys about content creation in general, because I think there's a lot of people that watch TikTok that want to make videos like you guys and want to start making content, and some people just don't quite know where to start, or they feel like they're posting into the void, or they feel like they're streaming to know and they don't know how to get much further than that. And that's a question we asked the Hulk creators as well last time. And everyone seems to have a very different approach. There doesn't seem to be an exact science. So I'd love to get your guys' take on that. But first question I want to ask, you brought up that you were playing with Sentinels last year, and you did win quite a bit over that time. I just want to ask about your journey from going to playing smaller Overwatch tournaments to eventually when Rivals came out, how you made that transition from playing that into playing ranked and getting in contact with pro teams. How did that become to be?
Yeah. So wow. Yeah. So if you don't know my background from Overwatch, is I played a lot of I played Calling All Heroes, which is like the Game Changers equivalent, right? So it's a lot of like women and other marginalized genders tournaments. And I did that for a long time. I played on NIXL Acad. I got a lot of I don't know, a lot of opportunities, and I learned a lot during all of that. And then I realized I don't really like this game, and I quit actually
Yeah.
a couple weeks before the Marvel Rivals Alpha. And so when Marvel Rivals Alpha dropped, I just hopped on and I recognized some Overwatch people, mainly Rymazing and Kurova. And they were like, "Hey, your comms are really good. Like, do you want to stack with us and play ranked with us in this weird superhero game that nobody's, that's gonna flop probably?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" So we ran around. I was playing like Mantis and Rocket and Loki for them, and then eventually that was during the alpha, and then eventually the beta came around and there was a big tournament and we played in that. We won,
Mhm.
which was crazy.
In,
And
in,
then
in the beta,
go
that
ahead.
had to feel pretty cool. Was that pretty much the
Yeah.
first tournament?
I was about to
of the
say,
entire-
Yeah, it was insane. They did like it was like a 20K tournament for every region, right? And so we won the North America one in the beta. And then once the game came out, we had these little name cards that showed we won in the beta. It was so sick. So we're like one of like 6 people to have it.
Mhm.
It's so cool. Um yeah, and then during the beta we played under NTMR, which was Overwatch org, right? And we knew them, so it wasn't salaried at all. It was just kind of like, "Will you guys play under our name?" And we're like, "Okay, sure. Why not?" Right? And then the game popped off on release. December 6th, game
Mhm.
went nuclear. Like I had a
Insane.
feeling,
Holy.
yeah, I had a feeling that I was like, I don't know, I just feel like Marvel, like superheroes, like I just have a feeling it's gonna take off. And thank God it did, because I got to quit my job and go into content creation like full time and pro play and all that.
Mhm.
Um, thank God, because I would have hated my life otherwise. Um, game came out and then we were the team. There was other tournaments in between. It was like December to like March is when we got picked up by Sen. There was a bunch of other tournaments. We got first in most of them. I think we lost one to Mutants at the time, which became 100 Thieves. And so big orgs were coming in. We heard about it, and then John Sentinel hit us up and was like, "Hey, I know you're already talking with people, but we're kind of John Sentinels." And we were like, "Yeah, that sounds good." So I think we had an offer from Envy at the time that was quite substantially like more money, but we were like, "Okay, but Sentinels,"
Mhm.
and we all just kind of decided to go with that. So yeah.
So once you heard Sentinels, you saw like a pot of gold, basically. That's what I'm hearing. And I
Pretty much.
Yeah, long
and
term.
I
The
can
Sentinels.
imagine how much of like I'm just going back to the when you said you won like the NA tournament at the beginning of the season, you and 6 other people. I could just imagine like myself like just experience out the aura, bro. You 6 other people and you're one of them to win like one of the earliest and like well-known like professional tournaments in the
Yes,
beginning.
sir.
That's crazy. I admire that so much.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so that's my story.
So you were one of the
Thank you for
more
sharing.
unique examples of it just kind of all happened naturally. You didn't have to go really seeking out a team. They kind of just found you and it just worked out and went from there.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
I guess that's one way to do it because I've just seen a couple comments that I've just been gauging a lot of interest about like pro play in general lately because I've just been asking the question like what can rivals do to make it more interesting for people to want to watch, and a lot of people are like, well, why would I watch? Some of the comments don't make a lot of sense, but some people are like, why would I want to watch something if I'm not trying to become a pro player? Or why would I want to do this? Or how do you even become one? Or it's like, and some people are saying it's nepotism, like in all the ways, which like, I guess in every way of life, it's just about who you know for some part of it,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not entirely true, especially considering. Yeah, like you said, you played against Mutants, and that team inevitably, I can't speak, got picked up by 100 Thieves, and has remained pretty much the same core since then, right?
Yeah. Minus Terra.
Yeah, minus Terra.
And support's moved around a bit, but yeah, same core.
That is very interesting. I have more questions about specifically what we can do about pro play in a little bit, but I'm going to pass Sentry over the mic because he has something he wants to ask Cuffy, I believe, here.
Okay, so Cuffy, everyone knows about this new season, right? This new season, it's completely revolutionizing the game. So with all the new team ups and everything, and like everybody, you could say getting changed up in the meta, how would you say that affects like professional play and like you from a coaching standard in that like professional play?
Yeah, for me personally, it puts me in a really awkward situation.
Hmm.
And the reason why is because there's actually something to do with Ignite called relegation playoffs. And now
Hmm.
what this is in my region, because we have less partner teams, the bottom 6 Ignite teams play against the top 16 MRC teams.
Hmm.
But what people don't realize is that tournament is taking place in less than a week for us.
Ooh.
Yes.
So there's like no time.
Yeah, you guys don't get the almost full month to prep like the other
Yeah.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a worse situation for my team because we're first seed in that tournament. If we got one place higher, we wouldn't even be in the playoffs at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we very much have the perspective that we are a lot better than every other team in the tournament. The lower end teams aren't really going to try and take a noble meta versus meta matchup versus us. They might heavily fall back on the off meta characters. They'll
Yeah.
probably pull out a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't seen from competing or scrimming against
Mm-hmm.
a lot of Ignite teams, which, in my opinion, is probably the best route that they can take. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
The
Um,
unexpected route.
yeah. So for us personally, um, as of right now, we're trying to have the exact same mentality where the boys have been grinding ranked pretty much all day, apart from a scrim that we had, and we're just trying to figure out like the really nice niche stuff that could
Mm-hmm.
potentially work. But as of right now, it seems to be a lot more quantity as opposed to quality. So when
Mm-hmm.
I'm theory crafting comps, I'm not coming up with six entire characters that can fit some complicated system.
Right.
We're like, this team up's good, this team up's good. There's synergy here, regardless of team up. Um, blah 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 blah. We just have like 20, 30 random jottings of something, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
just play those out in the blocks that we have throughout the week and see what kind of sticks. In a weird way, it does remind me of early alpha, beta, Marvel Rivals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mhm.
funnily enough, that same NTMR org that picked up the original like Sentinels roster, I was
Mm-hmm.
competing under their Overwatch team at the time. So during the alpha and beta tournaments, I remember being in BC a couple of times watching Tickety. Was it Tickety? Am I right in saying that? That was coaching the alpha team, I believe. Anyway, and I
Mm-hmm.
could kind of see the process, the early game process, because this was my first time transitioning from a game other than Overwatch. I was in Overwatch since 2020, and I'm trying to operate as much
Mm-hmm.
as possible in that direction, if that makes sense.
Right. Right. And
So,
I
oh, sorry.
no, you're good. One more thing. You said you competed, and I didn't know you competed. I thought. Do you mean competing by like playing or just coaching?
No, so I was always a coach.
Uh huh.
I was a top 100 console player, moved to PC in
Ooh.
2020, went straight into coaching because I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
learn keyboard and mouse. I've learned it
I'm right
now.
there with you, bro. I love it.
I've learned it now, but it took me three
Mm-hmm.
years to go pro in Overwatch. I was pro on a top 8 team in North
Mm-hmm.
America in Overwatch, and
Mm-hmm.
then again disliked the game. I stopped playing the game in 2023 and continued coaching it up until 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I don't know if you know the Navi roster. I
I
was
do. Yep.
colleagues with Fate in real life. I
Mm-hmm.
was working at the same workplace as him
Mm-hmm.
because Overwatch salary is non-existent,
Oh,
Right.
basically non-existent. I needed to
The
have a job.
I have
OWCS is
heard
kind of
that.
gone.
Wait, you were
Yeah,
working with him in real life?
yeah. And we were just working
That's
together
so
and we were
funny.
speaking like when Rivals comes out, we're
Small
gonna
world.
pop off and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So like.
sick.
Yeah, so that was our little plan, and we just jumped on the Rivals train the
Mm-hmm.
second it came out. But yeah,
And it
It's great that it
skyrocketed
blew
from
up the
there.
way it did, and I'm hoping that this new season kind of ignites a little bit of that again.
Ignite?
Ignite.
Ignite the battle.
But I was gonna add on to that. So when people are asking about like the relationship between player and coach, are at a time like this, are you a lot more heavily involved than you would be normally? Like a lot of the times people are curious, like when someone's at that level of play as a player, some people question why you even need a coach, who aren't quite
Mm.
in that space and don't understand it. So like, how are you helping your players in the regular season and especially now with a really big change coming?
I know this question is directed to Cuffy, but
It's
I would
both.
love
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say
I'm trying
something
to.
as like a player. There's so many times where players will get into like arguments or like disputes or have different ideas on how to do things, and the coach is kind of like the daddy, right? Like he's like, "Hell, hold on, hold on." Like you have good points, you have good points, let's compromise sort of thing.
Mhm.
So, I mean, okay, maybe the coach doesn't most coaches don't know everything in terms of like the numbers and everything about the game.
Mhm.
Cuffy might be built different, but like that's mostly what coaches are there for, is like to kind of be
Keep the
daddy.
Like a
peace.
mediator,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mediator. There we go.
I will
Yeah,
say
because
it
like,
was. Oh,
no, sorry, you can go. My bad, man.
yeah, yeah. For me, Rivals was definitely a learning curve. Because in Overwatch, I was participating on the like Shikigami, which is basically an org. At this point, it's
Mhm.
definitely more of an org than a friendship roster like it was, but it was very, very professional. And I was pretty much under Shikigami and Nightmare for 2, 3 years. Like I was there for a very, very long time. And so I was very used to um structure. The dynamics didn't really change. But then competing in Europe, in Rivals, I realize that they operate a lot more differently. It's a lot more a player say. Um, I don't really know how to put it, but it's definitely like from my experience in North America, it was definitely manager, coach, players.
Mhm.
Whereas now in Europe, it feels like it's player, coach, manager.
Manager, yeah.
Um, and so in short, you do need to adapt to the specific team environments. I've had environments where it's just like, okay, cool, do what I say, we win, blah 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 blah. But at the same time, my best results were actually I was just a part of the team, all of us
Mhm.
throwing ideas, all of us
Mhm.
trying stuff, and it really being successful. So I think it does differ from team to team
Yeah.
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I
So
agree.
on Sentinels, did you guys have much of like a big coaching presence at the time? Because like from the way he's explaining it, um, I guess there's different times, and depending on your roster, obviously you feel the room and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
when you're going to be stepping in more as a coach. And do players often like? Have you ever had a coach that's like overstepping and like you want to tell them to step back, and you're like, let us handle it, let us work as a team, let us
Yeah.
execute this
So
idea.
I've had every sort of coach under the sun. Like I've been competing since 2018, right? Like not
Mhm.
very well for a majority of the Overwatch time, but I was get better, getting my reps in,
Exactly.
whatever.
Just working up.
Right? Exactly, exactly. But when we were on Sen, I actually convinced Crimzo to move over from Overwatch. If you don't know, Crimzo's my husband,
Hmm.
which honestly, my team, this is after we won the beta tournament, my team was like, I don't really know if we should do that. There was a lot of like internal like struggle there because it was like, well, like nepotism, like favoritism, like that it opens a lot of doors like we don't really want.
Mhm.
But we trialed like every other coach and he was the one. Like it was like if we want real shots at improving and winning like a lot of tournaments, we need this guy.
Mhm.
So he came in and he coached us for a long time, and then I think it was like March, April, maybe in May, he took over one of our tank's spots because our tank just like he just wasn't adapting, and we just needed
Mhm.
more, and it happened to be the role that he had played
Hmm.
in the game. So he just came in, slotted in, and then we won the NA tournament. So
Mhm.
it was just kind of like a crazy situation. But yeah, he was more of like a he's more of like a kind of do what I say coach, which is like
Yeah.
okay, but he listens like very well to like what players say, and yeah, I do think I've had coaches that are like okay, just do what I say, I'm the boss no matter what, and then I've had coaches that are more like friendship coaches that are like oh yeah, like let's try this guy's idea and then we'll try this guy's idea and kind of see what happens. And then there's some coaches that are pretty like laid back and just kind of mediate when they can and give small amounts of input, and then there's coaches that are straight up dictators, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all style, it's
What
all style.
Mhm.
what kind of archetype do you think you fit in, Cuffy? Out of all of them.
An architect, dude.
Yeah, are you a dictator
Nah,
or what's going on here?
I definitely used to be back in Overwatch. I think under the development of like when I was really like pushing for top 8 OWCS placements and stuff like that, I learned to be more friendly. But actually, I realized that now going back to Europe, a lot of my criticisms in Europe, in the European scene, is the fact that I'm too indecisive. But it's not the case. I have a direction and I know the direction that I want to go to, but I do
Mm-hmm.
try and make sure that everyone's voice is heard. But the main
Mm.
criticism for me now is that I'm too indecisive, so I think I do need to be more of a dictator in
Mm-hmm.
future, to be honest. That's why
Mhm.
I'm trying to find a healthy balance
Mm-hmm.
of do what I say, but not in a toxic
It's
way, you know
hard.
what I
It's
mean?
not
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy
Yeah,
at all.
The
Yeah.
thing
yeah.
is, when about like them saying you're indecisive, like I just if you're hearing everybody out, like they could think that as, oh yeah, you're indecisive because like you don't want to lock in on one idea. You just want to hear everyone out. But like I
Hmm.
don't see that as a bad thing. I mean, like in my opinion, I don't think the coach is supposed to be just like, oh yeah, do what I say. I don't care about what you guys say. I feel like you were doing like the right decision hearing everybody out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a 4 block rule now. So if I have an idea come into the team environment, no matter whose it is, it could be mine, it could be someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
We rep it for 4 blocks, which is 4 scrims or 8 hours. If there's improvement, we stick to it. If there's no
Mm-hmm.
improvement, we completely
Mm.
dump it and move on to the next idea. And that
Right.
seems to be working quite well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
That's
think
a good
that
idea.
4 blocks is like an overcommitment of like time for an idea?
I call it 4 block rule. When I started doing that, the team that I was scrimming with was scrimming 2, 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now my team scrims less than that. So the 4 block rule is closer to 2 or 3 blocks right now.
Yeah,
But
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more
yeah.
sense.
So the plan is four, but it's not. It hasn't reached four
Yeah.
really. Yeah,
Sometimes,
I
well,
see.
I have a week.
Well,
You know what I
sometimes,
mean? I
yeah.
have a week before my next tournament. There's no way that
Mm-hmm.
we can commit 4 blocks to one thing.
Yeah,
No.
there
Yeah,
is just
for
no
sure.
possible way. Yeah.
Everything's just happening so fast, and that I guess has that been kind of a theme for Rivals pretty much through its whole lifespan. I mean, a new character every month, and uh, sometimes characters have been what people would deem broken in ranked for however many months, but they in pro play it's not the exact same case. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, has it always been go, or is it just really, really, really like go right now? Like, is it?
Yeah, so that's actually like a really good question, and like it like talks about meta like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, the team that's doing the best is always going to be the one that kind of like sets the meta, right? And in a game like Rivals that's changing so much, I don't think anyone has ever figured out Rivals. There's no one has done it. There's so many things that gets changed. Sometimes we'll have a meta for like 6 weeks, and then something will happen. Somebody will figure something out. No patch. Somebody will just figure something out. Like, oh hey, Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
we forgot about that guy. No one played him for 6 months, and now everybody's playing Wolf. Everybody's using the team up everything, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like people just figure shit out, right? And the team that's winning scrims is the team that sets meta. So like for
Mm-hmm.
us, like way back in beta, oh my god, this is gonna sound ancient, but like we played
Ancient is
either
crazy.
triple res team up or we played gamma Iron Man, right? And
Mhm.
so it
Good old
there was
days.
only like one ban they could do against us basically, and we were just the best at
Mm-hmm.
both of those comps, so we set the meta,
Mhm.
right? Like people had to either mirror us or try to figure out something to beat meta,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody ever could, so we won.
Right.
And it's kind of like some iteration of that throughout all of the picks and ban phases and all of the things to consider. But I don't know. I don't think anyone has ever figured this game out, and it changes constantly. Like
Mm-hmm.
I swear when I'm listening to like what people say about scrims, they're like, "Oh, this character's really OP. We have to ban this character. Oh, this character's really, really OP."
Yeah.
It's like, guys, what's happening?
It's
Because
like
Mm-hmm.
clearly, like they'll play one team will play Fly Quest and like, "Oh, we have to ban this," and they'll play another team. It's like, "Oh, we have to ban this." It's like, "Oh my god, what is happening?" Just seems so
Exactly.
chaotic.
it's like I
I feel like
remember. Oh, go.
too this season now, it's like everybody's getting like there's gonna be that period of like everybody's broken in a sense right now because like people see the team ups, they see Hella having
Mm.
not Hella Phoenix having a team up with Hella that has Antio, which is good, but like then again, there's Hulk having like CC immunity and all that. So like they're like, okay, let's just ban everyone. Like who do we ban? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Like I feel like it's gonna be a lot different now. And I haven't been a pro obviously, or like in the level of being a pro, but I feel like this is gonna like change up the pro meta for sure. But it's gonna take a while.
It's like I remember in the season 7 early access, every like most of the people I was watching that were playing it were saying Black Cat was weak. Like it's like nobody has a prediction, like a good read on anything. It's like things change like day to day.
Yes, it actually, yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. One more thing, I agree that no one has mastered Rivals. I feel like you can be good at the game, obviously, but like Rivals is so like there's like 60 characters in the game. You know what I mean? Like the possibilities are endless. There's a million map, not a million, but like 25, like 30 maps, something like that. There's so many different like team composition outcomes.
Yep.
There's so much potential in the game. I don't think anyone will master Rivals anytime
Yeah.
soon.
And it's like crazy because a lot of the pro scene that you see in Rivals, I mean, it's changing now as the game gets older, but like a lot of them coming from Overwatch was a very slow updated game for a very long time.
Yes.
So those metas were very figured out. We would go 9 months without patches, a year without a patch or something, right? So that would get figured out. People would try things and quickly they would realize, okay, no, we have to play this comp, right? And that's how we kind of ended up in like these metas and whatever, right? But yeah, it's crazy coming from Overwatch, like a game that was pretty much figured out. I'm sure now they're getting more frequent updates, so it's a little bit less so. But yeah, very, very different cases and situations. And honestly, I kind of prefer the constant change. I think I would get way too bored without the
This is more fun than Tracer for 10 years, I can tell you that.
The same meta and the same hero for 10 years.
Yeah.
No, that's funny, man.
I personally didn't come from Overwatch at all. That was not the game I played before this. So like
What did you
hearing
play?
5M, I was on NoPixel. I did Fortnite, Valorant, like that.
I was
like,
right with
Oh,
you.
sick.
I was on Fortnite, Call of Duty, not Overwatch. I played Paladins back in its prime, but Paladins is dead. So.
That is
I know, bro.
I haven't heard that
It's
name
ancient,
in
dude.
eons.
Yeah,
Can I ask
bro.
how old both of you are? Because I think there's a lot of like older Overwatch people.
I'm 18.
I mean, you don't have to
I'm not
answer.
old.
Okay, yeah. I feel like that fits.
Yeah.
That fits.
Yeah. I when I was younger, I used to play Paladins around the same time Overwatch was like just like getting popular. I couldn't afford Overwatch. It was like $30. So I had Paladins and I just fell in love with that game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that are like that. They're like, "Oh yeah, I just couldn't at the time. I just couldn't afford it." Yeah, it's fine.
Exactly. So Paladins is what I had, and I just never left. I never like decided to hop on Overwatch because like I don't know. I was playing Fortnite more than I was Paladins, but like if I wanted something other than Fortnite, I would just go to Paladins without a second thought.
Hell yeah.
As someone that didn't watch much pro Overwatch at all through my life, how would you guys say the two communities like differ in terms of pro play and like teams and stuff like that? Because the impression of some of the pro players and Rivals is not the best from what I know. So I'm curious of the difference, if it's always kind of been that way in Overwatch as well, and Rivals just kind of gets the flack for it, or how that goes.
I have an answer, but Cuffy, you want to go?
Yeah, I also have an answer.
You go.
I'll be honest. I don't know if it's just a European thing. My experience in Overwatch was also like pretty horrible. Less as a pro, to be honest. As a pro, like you actually were quite respected. I would say, especially when you're actually going to the events and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But like the Overwatch community is pretty bad, especially the European Overwatch community. I see a lot of the problems that exist in the Rivals community in Overwatch as well, but they're just more low key about it. Or I feel like the Rivals community kick up more of a fuss, if that makes sense. We will argue for anything.
Everyone adds their 2 cents in Rivals.
Yeah,
exactly. Like I don't even play Overwatch. Dude, the amount of stuff I hear from Overwatch, stories. The stories keep going. It's crazy. It's insane. I mean, I guess
we all
just,
have
like,
PTSD for a reason, you know.
PTSD. Rightfully so. I mean, yeah, like it's the same concept of like they're both hero shooters. So I mean, like there's 6 people on a team or 5 in Overwatch 2, but like you're playing with other members. So I mean, there's always gonna be like fuss, if you want to call it, stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah. I definitely agree with like Cuffy that you got a lot of respect in Overwatch for being a pro. And I think maybe that's just like the timing of it all. Like obviously the pro scene in Overwatch happened around what, like 2017?
Hmm.
I mean, even before that there was like APAC and all that kind of not APAC. What am I thinking of? You know what I'm talking about, Cuffy? The like earlier
Uh,
smaller tournaments? What am I
oh,
thinking of?
with
I
all
never
the
watched
big
them,
orgs
but
actually going by their names.
yeah,
Yeah, there
like
were big orgs
C9
involved.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
That was before Overwatch League, so they
that
had
was.
like a crazy like grassroots start, and then of course like
Hmm.
the Overwatch League, and there was just like a lot of people cared a lot. Like people
Hmm.
really liked Overwatch. Esports wasn't cringe at all. People were like,
Yeah.
oh, that's it's kind of like newer thing. 2016, 2017. People
Hmm.
cared like a lot more. Now I think maybe after Overwatch 2, not Overwatch 2, but like Overwatch also, I think people kind of have this like thought that pro players ruined Overwatch. Like, oh, we're gonna balance for the pro players, and the casual audience kind of felt like they were kind of like pushed just the side, and then the developers only focused on what the pros wanted. And I
Hmm.
think I don't necessarily know if that's true. Could be. I don't really know. But I
Hmm.
do think the community feels scorned by it. Like they feel like the the developers didn't really care about their opinion and their gameplay, and they kind of got like pushed to the side. And because of that, I think that kind of left a bad taste in a lot of like casual players, mind when it came
Hmm.
to like pro play and rivals as well. So I see a lot of discussion on people like saying like, "Oh, don't balance for pro play. Like we don't care. Like
Hmm.
fuck pro players. Like balance for us, the people
Yeah.
who are in whatever ranks. Like we don't
Hmm.
care about Celestial Eternity.
Yeah.
Like who cares? Like
Yeah,
balance for
who
us.
cares
Make the game
about
fun
that,
for us."
man?
It's such a
Yeah, right?
difficult balancing act. Like
Yes,
Yeah.
for
you
sure.
can't please everyone, but
No, you
Mhm.
can't.
we brought this up on the last episode, and I feel like it would definitely help Rivals a lot, and could help them not have to worry so much on just purely balance being the only way to appease to the casual audiences. One thing that Overwatch has that we don't is custom rooms and stuff like that, and
Yep.
maps and stuff like that would be so big for content
Yes,
creation and
it
the
would,
casual
bro.
Yeah, it
player.
would.
Like it just gives them a whole nother avenue to enjoy the game besides queuing up ranked and getting shit
Yep.
on by Black
I
Panther.
I will say though, to be fair to Rivals in that same term, like Times Square and like the beach and all that has been really great
Yeah,
for people. I know it's not
Hmm.
the same, definitely not
yeah,
like as you can't be as creative as you can be in Overwatch custom games, but there is like I think NetEase does a pretty good job of like trying to appeal to the casual audience. I mean, the skins
the
are
skins
just
are
one
so much
are
better
just one
than
way,
The
right?
skins, yeah.
Like
Exactly. They definitely, if there's one thing Rivals will do, it's like cook up on the events, the skins. Like they know how to cook up on that for sure. They have been tapped in with the community. They know what we want, and they're just giving it out on that.
yeah.
Yeah, they are actually on top of that.
Thank you, Double G. Thank you.
Thank you.
Double G and Big Z,
He addressed
my
himself as Double
goats.
G the other day. That was fire
That was
too. That was
so funny. I
hilarious.
love that.
That was so
Double
funny.
G here.
It's funny.
But as far as like the differencing in like Overwatch players cared about pro play a bit more. I feel like their events, like Rivals, just doesn't have enough. Maybe it's just a newer age thing, but I feel like people don't give game companies and games enough credit. Like for the like Overwatch has been around for so much longer, and like yes,
Mhm.
they did a lot of events in their infancy, but like give Rivals another year, and if they keep doing more lands and stuff like that, I think it could be good. But it just I don't know if the community themselves just has a great impression of a lot of the pro players, and
Mhm.
I was just curious if like as far as like people's like behavior or the way they present themselves
Mm.
online, do you think that responsibility falls more on Rivals or the orgs to keep these players more in check, or to give them a reason to care a bit more and present themselves as professionals? Or is that kind of just how it is?
Yeah, I do think there's been a little bit of lack of monitoring that has kind of maybe that's on NetEase's part, maybe
Mhm.
that's on, orgs, as you were saying, could be either or. Uh, but there is just like a lack of it. Like I do know, okay, Overwatch League is different because it's a franchise
Yeah.
thing, but I do
Mhm.
know that before every season they would literally get every single player, and they do it by region. They'd get every single player in a confidential call, and they'd sit them down and be like, this is what you're allowed to do, this is what you're not allowed to do, and if we catch you doing these things, you will be removed and fined. So it's
Mhm.
like there's a level there that we have not gotten to with Marvel Rivals esports, and I think we should, because I
Yes.
do agree that the behavior of a lot of the pro players, it's bad. It's not good behavior.
Mhm.
They're acting
No,
like,
it's not.
you know,
It's not
kids.
professional.
Yeah, it's not
It's
professional.
not. It's not. Like people think like pro is only being good, which is true. That's a big part, but like you're supposed to be like it's a job, like professional.
I agree.
You're supposed to say the right things. You're not supposed to say the wrong things. It's not it's not like a joke, but like people
Yeah.
that some of the pros just treat it as it's not like
And
a
I will
job,
say on
serious job.
on Sen, we did have to have somebody removed. I'm not going to name their name, but
Hmm.
we did have to have somebody removed because they slept through blocks consistently. Like that's the kind of attitude of the Marvel Rival pro player you
Yeah.
have, like
Hmm.
sleeping through triple blocks. That's
And
Yeah.
it's
crazy.
just
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, go ahead, Cuffy.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's worse as well because right now we're also in a stage where not every team is all represented.
Mm.
So I know when I was competing for Shikigami again in Overwatch, or even when I'm competing now at Reason Gaming, like
Hmm.
the orgs, like the orgs hold me accountable. It's in my contract to behave a certain way,
Hmm.
Um, I know when I when I wasn't on an org team, I was also speaking reckless on Twitter to people that were speaking reckless on Twitter to me. Like there was
Hmm.
nothing that stopped me. But it's like some this I feel like the whole environment will get better when everyone is represented by an org, and that org doesn't
Hmm.
even need to necessarily salary you. I just think it's accountability, a hierarchy, a structure, because you need to remember some of these boys are not in an org. Some of them are 16, some of them are 17,
Hmm.
18 years
Mhm.
old.
Yeah.
They don't know what. I've heard some crazy things from people that are meant to be pro players, just even in
Hmm.
ranked ladder or just something that, you know what I mean? It's just like they it's a young and very dumb
Yeah.
community. From
Yes.
bottom, from casuals to top to pros, everything.
Yep.
Everyone
You're
is
not
young and
wrong.
everyone is
Yeah.
stupid.
It's not even
Hmm.
Yeah.
just like the things they say. I mean, yes, they're all young. Everyone says stuff stupid. A lot of it isn't the end of the world, but it's more the way that I look at it is the prize pools are big right now. This is probably the only time that the prize pools are going to continue to be as big as they are while the game just came off being pretty much the biggest game in the world. And it's
Hmm.
if players and teams aren't conducting themselves in a at least semi-professional way, and NetEase sees that I just fear that it's not going to represent the game well enough, and NetEase is going to
Mm.
start pulling prize money in the future. Eventually events are not going to be
Yeah.
worth as much, and then
Mm.
it's going to be like,
Hmm.
whoa, well, I'm a pro now. I've been the best behaved. I'm working really hard, but I'm making less than minimum wage to compete. It's like kind of what happened in
It's really
Fortnite.
tough.
Like they a lot of Fortnite was the biggest game in the world, had all the prize pools for years, and then sometime in like 2022, 2023, the cash cups and stuff like that prize pool started becoming pennies, like pennies on the
Yeah.
dollar.
But
Hmm.
one thing I liked about Fortnite though is the people on the whole took it seriously. We spoke
Mhm.
about how like
Mm.
we are struggling to gather $30
Hmm.
to pay for Overwatch. I'm having 16-year-olds have $3 million in front of their face and
Yeah,
they just don't want to show up. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
that's what's
Like
insane to me. Is
it's crazy.
what are they gonna
It's
do
crazy.
when it's not even there at all? Is like the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where's
The
the
thing is,
passion?
yeah.
More
Where is the
passion.
No
passion?
yeah,
passion.
Like
No
people
passion.
lost the passion. I don't know.
it,
I remember I used to play Fortnite. I said this, but like I used to play Fortnite. Like I was locked in every Cash Cup, every Tuesday. I was there, me and my friends, and like they took it serious. I miss when it was we could be serious about like things that are supposed to be serious. Like I don't know if you guys like have noticed this, but I started to notice like the earlier seasons, professional play of Rivals, the professional play was actually professional in my opinion. You never heard
Mm.
anything from like certain pros about them saying something, doing something. I don't know why it like suddenly changed, you know? Like I swear it changed like December, and like you start hearing everything about like certain
Mm.
pros, and like pro is just like true, like the pro players are treating as a joke and not a job, you know?
Mm. I do think, like, once people kind of get disenchanted with the game and it becomes like a job, right? There's a little bit more of like, I don't know, people just lash out, I
Mhm.
think, and then there's more drama because of that. And
Mm-hmm.
also just like egos get involved. Like you're saying, like December things change. That's after Ignite ran its whole thing through the years. So people
Mm-hmm.
have, bad placements. Maybe they're upset with other people on their teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is like a bunch of that, I think. But I don't know. Yeah, I do think the game people should strive to be professional, and I think you're right. I think it is just kind of like an immature community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say, like, I don't know, passion fading is like a huge problem, but I do think this season 9 update is going to do a lot. I think it's going
Mm-hmm.
to bring a lot of people back. I think a lot of pros are going to feel more ready to grind and play like a completely different game, and we'll see what happens. But
It
Mm-hmm.
should reignite a lot
I
of the
agree, yeah.
passion. I hope
Ignite,
there's
Some would say ignite the passion.
ignite.
Ignite.
What?
Ignite the passion.
Ignite.
I think a lot of it as well though with as far as like Sentry saying people started talking about stuff in December. It I don't know if you can put an exact date to it, but as far as on TikTok, I think Marvel Rivals is the most talkative community. Like as far as
Mm.
creators communicating amongst themselves, everyone posts to each other. Everyone like back forth, back forth. It happens all the time, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of smaller things really do get blown out of proportion. I really don't think it's as bad as people think it is. Like it's
Mm.
not perfect. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like we talk about it all the time, but like the drama and rivals and blah blah blah, everything on TikTok, Twitter about this game that has anything to do with anyone gets blown out like so out of proportion that
I'm
it kind of
aware.
shadows. Yeah, it kind of
It's
shadows.
crazy,
You
yeah.
have firsthand experience, but it kind of shadows everything. Um, I feel. I don't know how you guys think about that, but
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and sorry to cut you off, but
Oh, you're good.
I do think that is a byproduct of the community being so young, and like that's what
Mm-hmm.
we were saying. Like it's very high school almost, and
yes.
I haven't felt that way in a very long time. So it's very like jarring for me. I'm like, whoa, whoa, what is happening here? Let's be adults, please. But yeah, it's pretty
Exactly.
crazy. Yeah.
Like one moment you're talking to like people being professional, you know, just chilling,
Mm-hmm.
chillaxing. The other minute you're talking to people screaming and ranked about like random stuff, dude. Like, come on, bro. Come on. We're like
Me, I'm the
we gotta
screaming
set
ranked.
we gotta set the
Screaming is
So
standard, you know? Like I don't know.
Mhm.
But I do have a question for Cuffy. I was just thinking about this stuff while we were on this conversation. You're one of the more like well-known coaches of this game. I would say arguably the most well-known. I don't Do
Yeah.
you feel like there's a lot of like coaches out there for rivals that are like posts like you do?
I think it's problematic. Obviously,
Mhm.
I know coaches do. Like I know Coach Forks makes a lot of content and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, but I know the main issue I had in Overwatch is that I was branded, oh, the TikTok coach.
Mhm.
Which
Oh.
is awkward. I really, really don't like being pushed into that because I started making coaching content on TikTok when I was what we would call tier 3 in Overwatch,
mhm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mhm.
get a single team opportunity. Actually, I got Shikigami from tier 3 to tier 2 to bottom tier 1,
Mhm.
literally just by staying there, which is incredibly, incredibly rare.
Mhm.
Um, and that was one of the main reason why I region swapped in the first place is because for you pages a lot of the time are local, right? So
Mhm.
everyone in Europe knew me as, oh, you're the guy from TikTok, and it was really, really annoying.
Hmm.
I think that there is the aspect of leaking information. You don't want to make a lot of information public, especially when it's education, especially if it's
Yeah.
something that you're using currently.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a system where my ideas for content actually come from private coaching sessions, as in
Hmm.
it's
Mm.
already knowledge that I have, and oh, this is relevant. I have an example of it clearly now. I can post
Hmm.
it, or I'll just write a quick 1 minute script and upload it. But that's how I manage to keep things private. And if I think that there is a really nice complex um, thing, I try and make sure that I post it like a month or two after I come to it,
Hmm.
to the point where people can look at my gameplay or like look at one of my matches or officials, that people do all the time, um, and already come to that conclusion based on what is being seen. So that's when I start to make things public, when I know all of the other coaches already know about it, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I get what you mean. Yeah, that makes sense. Because yeah, I would think it's like, you got to be careful. You can't like tell your game plan to, and like, because who knows like what the other teams are like doing. Like
Everyone's watching.
There's also a
exactly,
lot.
You'll be
everyone's watching.
surprised that the lengths that we go to find out information, you would be surprised.
There's lots of
You'll be
Every
very
team
scrim
does.
surprised.
scrim
Because if you
codes
don't,
and
you're
stuff.
behind. If you don't, you're behind. Every team does it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
It's crazy.
I don't know if this is something either of you can really say, but I, as someone that watches MRI, and I watch the space watch parties, and they're hilarious, and like
Me
you hear
too.
you hear the jokes and stuff like that about teams sharing codes or remix trading a cheeseburger for a code. It's
A
like how
cheeseburger for a coach.
how much of that is really
That's a new
happening?
one.
Like, do you guys have teams that will come to you for codes, and like you're like trading all the time? Like, maybe this is a question more or less Aramori can answer, because she's currently not competing right now. I don't know if this is a good idea for Cuffy to
Well,
answer.
they implemented a system, didn't they? To where you can't share codes unless you have like approval from both teams or something. They did something.
Yeah.
Uh
So they try and enforce it both through the game and privacy settings, and also just by like informing us, letting us know. We know there are definitely certain ways that we cannot go about it. Like
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
avoid the ways that are illegal. Like if people are deliberately trying to block you from seeing codes, it's probably not the best idea to
Hmm.
go prying.
Hmm.
Right.
You can ask people, but then it's just word of mouth. People can very easily lie to you and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
and any way we can get information, we can. Whether it's like scrolling through Twitch VODs or anything like that. We don't even know who streams, but it's just we'll just try and see who people are playing in ranked even. Like, it's something as small as that. Oh, this person's been on Psylocke a lot more than they were last week.
mm,
What's
Yeah.
happening now?
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
smart.
But yeah.
That
But
that makes sense.
oh
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, before they implemented that change though, like absolutely people would share codes and stuff all the time. It would be like if you warmed up somebody, you would maybe they're friends with some of the people that you're playing against, that shit's going straight to the team you're about to
Yeah.
play. You just had
That's
to
very
assume
big.
that they were gonna know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So like we would even this is so messed up. We would even just like play like fake comps if we thought that was gonna happen and
Yeah.
just like get warmed up to get warmed
Hmm.
up.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of times in officials, we would know that the other team we were playing against was playing comps to counter what we played in the warm up, but that's
Hmm.
not what we're on
Yes. Yes.
now.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like there's games like that going on all the time. And so like you maybe as like a viewer you get confused of like, oh, why didn't they ban this first, or why didn't they do that?
Hmm.
It's
100%.
because they know what the other team is going to do and they're trying to like play around it. So it's a lot of like mind games back and forth.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I
It's
was about to say, yeah, like it's crazy, like how you just said, like if you know the enemy team is watching you, but what if they know, or they know that they're watching? Like it's the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
the thought process is insane. Like it's breaking my brain. Like actually, I'm not even kidding.
don't work your brain
I
too hard, Sentry. Don't.
Yeah, I'm trying not to, bro, but I don't know. Yeah, that is I didn't even think about that.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
like
Yep.
it could just get it could be like an endless paradox. It can keep going on and on.
Yeah,
Like,
I
where
think
does
a
it
lot of
stop?
times too, we'd be like, oh, this team has this player, so if we warm up with them, they're gonna leak our codes to the player that's on the team we're playing against. Okay, let's take this warm up that nobody's friends with them, and then hopefully they
Mhm.
won't leak or something like that. Like it's very like
Yeah,
it's just like a
yeah.
thing you have to play around. It's another aspect of pro play, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's you gotta counter it somehow.
Yeah.
Even
But
Right.
ringers
they've changed it
joining.
now, so
Yeah, like ringers changing their
Yep.
name to join, and then you have to look at their UID and
Oh
stuff
my.
like that. It's like,
Mhm.
Really?
yeah,
Everyone
yes,
yeah,
yes,
it's
and they'll hide in
you'll
the
be surprised.
spectator list. Yes,
You'll be
Yeah.
yes.
surprised. Yeah, sometimes you have to look at their Discord channel to see who's in that VC.
You
Like,
should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah,
that's insane. There's so much that goes into it. It really impresses me that you guys are able to balance doing that and content. So that's kind of
Well,
where
not
I
me
want.
anymore.
Not you anymore, but I'm
Not you
at a
anymore.
time.
You're out of it.
This is my segue. I'm trying to get better at segue. We are segueing into. Okay, so for every guest I'm wanting to have on, my original goal was starting this was to kind of, like I said, give a glimpse to people about content creation. A lot of people think it's like some sort of magic code, some, like, including myself. I only started last December, and it's kind of a interesting space to try and guide. And you, Aramori, as someone that competed and is now your full-time content, how did that transition work for you? So were you kind of always doing content, and when did you decide to switch over to doing that fully instead of and give up on competing for now? Just as best as you can explain that.
Yeah, yeah. Congrats on content creating. Like, what
Thank
is that? 7 months, by the
Yeah.
way. That's crazy, dude. Like, that's insane growth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
W man. W Jackson, man. Good stuff.
W,
Also, if I
W.
haven't said it, sorry, let me cut in. Thank you guys once again for
Yeah,
offering to come on. I really appreciate it. I'm just thinking back at it again. This episode wouldn't be possible without you guys. I know we're not done yet, but I really appreciate you guys coming on. I feel like this is a really good topic and conversation that we're having right now, and yeah, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, of course. No problem at
Thank
all
you
for
guys.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Um,
guys.
so my content journey, it's always kind of been something I've wanted to do. I tried for a bit in Overwatch. I had actually like a crazy viral Overwatch TikTok. It got like 10 million views and it got
Ooh,
like reposted a bunch. It was like scared of girl or something. It was
you had like the whole community.
I don't think I've
yeah,
seen that.
coffee.
I've seen that
Coffee's like
clip. Yes. Oh my goodness.
yeah, so like I tried for a bit in Overwatch, but it just never really went anywhere. I was kind of like a 30 average viewer Andy, which is fine. It is what it is.
Mhm.
So I mentioned this briefly. I got a real job before Marvel Rivals came out, and that's what I was doing for that summer in between like alpha and beta. I was like working.
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
was working. So yeah, I mean for me, it was a lot of swinging and a lot of missing going on in Overwatch. And
Hmm.
honestly, my advice to like anybody who's looking to get into content creation is like, and like I feel like everybody and their mom says this, but like find your niche and hit it hard because
Hmm.
if I wasn't in the position I was in for Rivals, I'd be in the same place I was. I
Hmm.
had played Marvel Rivals a lot in the alpha and the beta, and I knew going into it because I had won this tournament, I was one of the best players in the world.
Hmm.
So this game had a ocean tsunami wave of hype behind it, and I was
Hmm.
perfectly positioned to ride it. Is
Hmm.
that not insanely lucky or what? Like
Yeah.
it was just insanely lucky. So find your niche, right? Like Mecha Chameleon just did its whole thing. It's kind of dying down now, I'm sure.
Hmm.
But you have artists that are playing that game and blowing up because they're doing crazy things, or maybe somebody's like using the movement in that game to like avoid getting shot, whatever. Like they're riding the hype, right? And I
Mhm.
think that's
Right.
what most of like the big streamers do is they ride the hype of these games. And I think
Hmm.
find your niche, find what you're really good at, and just send a ton of content. And honestly, I was actually talking about this with my agency today. Um but like the way I think Queso's a really good example of this, but he only streams 4 hours a day, and when he does, it's full energy, full like try hard, and then he's done.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But before those 4 hours of stream, you know, he doesn't anymore because he doesn't need to, but he used to post a bunch of TikToks. So he would post like a bunch, get people interested, get people hyped, stream 4 hours, full energy, and then he was done. And then it was like
Mhm.
that cycle over and over and over again. And that's brilliant, right? Like
Mhm.
that is an insane cycle. So yeah, you have to post on other channels, unfortunately. I know
Mhm.
everybody hates to hear that, but you do. You have to use Instagram Reels, you have to use YouTube Shorts, you have to use TikTok, you have to, and you have to post a lot, a
You have to
lot.
peak the
And
human brain. You
yeah,
have to. Because
yes.
us, I mean, like you can get started out on Twitch, you know, without
Mhm.
posting, but like it's gonna take like 4 times the time, you know. Like
Twitch has
if
Yeah.
you
no
post your
real
clips,
like
it's
algorithm. It's not.
exactly like
Yeah.
I just going back to what you said, Aramori, about queso doing that method. I think it's kind
I
of
love
like,
queso.
yeah, no, queso's the goat. I remember watching his content in like 2024. That when there was nobody else, queso was just popping up on my For You page day after
Yep.
day. He was goated. He still is, but I don't see him as much because he worked to the point like he doesn't have to post as much. You know,
Right.
like you said, it's like you start. It's like you try your hardest when you're working up so you can relax later. That's how I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah,
Hmm.
like and for me, like now, like I edited a lot of my TikToks in the beginning and I posted and I did all that work. And now, thankfully, I'm pretty transparent about this. I don't
Hmm.
post on any of my socials. It's not me.
Hmm.
Like I will scroll my For You page on Instagram Reels and TikTok, but and comment and stuff, and that is me. But as for like posts and things like that, not me. It's not me.
Hmm.
I have a team that literally gets the clips, edits them, and posts all on
Hmm.
their own. And I'm insanely grateful for that because then I can focus my energy into other things, i.e., getting
Exactly.
better at Jubilee.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
The number one
huge
Jubilee.
time saver.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
um, Cuffy, what about you? How so? Are you still working any other job besides coaching right now? Or how long have you been full time coaching?
Yes, I'm not working any other jobs. I think my relationship with coaching and content is pretty weird, especially because when I started content, there was always something else to do. Like I went to school, I went to university, got my degree during like all of this because I'm 24 now.
Hmm.
Um, and then the year I got my degree was 2023. I kind of gave content as well as pro Overwatch a shot for a year, and it went okay. And then 2024, it went better.
Hmm.
2025, it's going better. I think the numbers that you see from my page is just a lot of years of pretty much a half-assed effort. I've not been able
Hmm.
to lock in on content yet, but I'm grateful for what I've actually managed to do in content as of right now. In
Hmm.
terms of how I live and I survive and why I don't need any jobs now, actually, TikTok is a very, very nice way of getting clients. So I break
Mm.
up my videos. This is the thing about social media, it's all systems.
Hmm.
Every single person that's involved in social media has a system of growth, a system of, retention that, so
Yep.
people can actually stay and watch and stuff like that.
Right.
So I have videos for like videos for outreach, so virality. I have videos for current clients and I have videos for future clients. So
Hmm.
one, I try and demonstrate knowledge. Two, I try and have a series, and then three, I have to hop on trends. You
Hmm.
know,
Mm.
and so every now and then, not in all of my TikToks, I promote my coaching service because that would be really annoying, right?
Hmm.
You would know that I'm doing it for money, but those three things combined kind of rounds off everything that I do and just
Mm.
naturally through my Discord server or sometimes I go into chat rooms or like not chat rooms but LFT servers like
Hmm.
Hmm.
Discord
Yeah.
servers and stuff like that. So I spend my day either making content or pitching people and then I block out 16 hours a week of where I just privately coach people. The first 16 people that inquire they get booked in, get the money down, and then
Hmm.
the other 17th, 18th, we book for next week. So that's how I survive alongside obviously the actual competitive side of things and the prize pools and that and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
it's a mixture of content and competition right now. Um, it wouldn't be feasible for me to just focus on competition, but I do recommend that everybody competes should eventually go into content because those 6 hours a day, if they're put towards content, you actually have no idea how you can just skyrocket. I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. Like I'm blocking for 6 hours a day, privately
Yeah.
coaching for X amount
Mhm.
of time. I'm sure my
Yeah.
content could be in a better place, but I love competing. I love
Mhm.
competing so much. I love it.
It's
Yep.
it's it's great to have things you love too, and it's like
Mhm.
it's all such a hard balance, and like I'm figuring that out myself too, and that's honestly why like I like this topic so much, is everyone's had a different answer. I haven't heard anyone talk about putting 3 different separate sections for their TikTok, one for variety knowledge. I guess that fits your niche, like Aramori said, pretty perfectly, because we all know you as, not in a bad way, the TikTok coach, in a good way,
In a great way,
in a
yeah.
great way.
Bro's gonna
Not
punch a
not like
hole in his wall after this.
no, I
No,
would take pride in being the TikTok coach now because like
seriously,
whoever
Yeah.
I
said
don't
like
think it discredits your
exactly
competitiveness at
no
all.
yeah I've been seeing your coaching content for a while, bro. No, you're definitely the most well-known coach I've seen for Marvel Rivals, and you're the face of Marvel Rivals coaching. So I would take great pride in the being the quote unquote TikTok coach.
Yeah.
I think it's a really
W
good
Cuffy.
thing for you, man.
WCuffy. Yeah, it's just content is such a weird thing. I've been going through and trying to learn it.
Hmm.
Finding a niche is hard. I'm glad we started this. It's going okay. I genuinely, we talked about this last time as well, but it just keeps coming up. The hate that this community gets for being toxic, I don't agree with it from the creator side at all.
Mm.
I have received nothing but like uh, help and love and like great things from any streamer I've ever met in this
Aw.
community. Like they're
Hmm.
genuinely also helpful. When we said we were starting this podcast, I've got Kinbaru, I've got Shibi. Everyone is just like doing everything they can to reach this out, and it's really
Hmm.
it's something unique to me that I've seen, that everyone tries to help each other for the most part in this community, and
Hmm.
I just find that very cool in terms of
Yeah,
content creation.
I would
Yeah.
say to pick up off of that, I feel most of the content creators in this community, like the thing I like about Rivals so much is the community is more tapped in with each other. Like I've noticed, like the content creators, the small and the big, like they're both like since you can be on the same team with anybody theoretically, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't, the connection is just there. I feel like everyone, like the tournaments, bro. Like even if there some of them don't go well, like there's still a lot of them. Doesn't matter if there's like mainstream or like small. Like I like that about this community a lot,
Yeah. For sure. For
that
sure.
we care. But I do have one more question for both of you guys. What do you think Marvel Rivals themselves can do to promote just like professional play? Like their LAN events. Like there's like I feel like they promote it, but like I don't know, like when you watch Overwatch, their pro stuff gets a lot of views. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it gets an insane amount of views.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think we could, or rivals themselves can do to like enhance that?
Well, I think the first they could do is just have some better drops, because I
Hmm.
think Overwatch does have a huge percentage of viewership that wants drops badly. Um like I think they give like loot boxes and stuff, which is, we don't have loot boxes, but
Yeah.
imagine you got like those costume coins or whatever. It's like, "Oh,
Hmm.
you get a costume coin if you watch 8 hours of this," and that's, you get a free skin from the shop basically. That would be
Hmm.
huge for
Much
viewership,
better,
right?
so much
Hmm.
better.
Absolutely. And just inherently, like when the numbers go up, more people are going to care. Um yeah, I think drops is going to be a big part of it, getting people to care. I don't think you can artificially do it any other way, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, you got
yeah.
to give them a reason to watch. Like most of the people that just watch, they watch for like the gameplay. They want to learn. They want to see how the best of the best play. but like you gotta like tap in to the people who just want something out of it. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
I agree. I agree. Like they need to give something. They need to give you something for it too. The people that are watching, because like the Gambit drops. I'm just mentioning Gambit. I think that was the last one, but like it's cool. But like that's only good for like Gambit players. You know, like I
Mhm.
don't know. It's not. Yeah, it's not really
They're also just
versatile.
like kind of like mid recolors, like
It's been the same
Yeah.
cool.
purple and blue for
Yeah.
a year. It's been the same. It's
What do you
terrible.
mean
Yeah.
ignite the battle though, man? Come on.
We
I
do.
I will say one of the drops they had for Ignite last year was pretty cool. It was like a emote for
Hmm.
Loki where he like held up the Ignite trophy.
I do
That
remember
was
that.
really cool.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um if they did stuff like that, that would be really interesting. Like, but I don't know. I don't know outside
Yeah.
of that.
I think custom coins was definitely a good idea. I feel like rivals should get their own form. Like just imagine like loot boxes, but only like you can get them from Twitch drops. You know, like that
Ooh.
would be exclusive. So you have no choice. You have to watch it if you want. Like, let's say
You
something
have
in the
to.
loot box. No, you're forced to. Like, let's say you can get like 1,000 units or something like that, you know, from a loot box. Okay, cool. All right, you want a loot box? Watch the like Twitch stream. You know what I mean? Like, make it exclusive. Have some like fun to it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my answer is probably a lot different, but I feel like my
Mm.
background in esports was I was always a fan of watching esports. So I'm trying to think like why, why actually am I a fan of watching esports? And
Hmm.
for me, a lot of the times it's the storyline, positive and negative.
Mm.
However, it would be nice if rivals could have some positive storylines coming in, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
become more mainstream. Because there have been a lot of like crazy stories.
Hmm.
But I feel like it's only us that know about that because we're very we understand who likes you, who doesn't like you, you know what I mean? Why certain matches would be a big game for team environments, but I feel
Hmm.
like that essence is not really captured for the fans. Obviously, there was Sen versus Thieves, but everyone knows that from other games. Sen versus Thieves was always a big thing. So
Hmm.
on streams, pulled a lot of viewership, even in Ignite, you know what I mean? Because everyone wants to watch that game.
It's literally
Um,
rivals, like rival matches in rivals.
yeah. No, exactly. And so I don't know. I used to like watching Call of Duty, and I used to like watching Mortal Kombat in particular.
Hmm.
But I think the only difference there is the people that are making like the tip and trip casual videos, like the
Hmm.
content, the YouTube. Um, they were the people competing. So like, if I wanted to know this Mortal Kombat combo and I click on the guy's channel and it's Sonic Fox and I'm like, who's Sonic Fox? Let me look at Sonic Fox. Oh,
Hmm.
this
The
individual
goat.
has won every
The
single
goat.
fighting
The goat.
competition, no matter
Hmm.
the title. Of course, I want to watch him or them compete, sorry.
Hmm.
In every single title. And you could say the same thing for FaZe, Call of Duty. You had the
Hmm.
whole FaZe versus Optic. Back in the day, those guys were making a lot of, gameplay tutorials, trick shotting videos,
Mhm.
Hmm.
a whole bunch of videos that just got you on, made you care about these individuals. I don't care about the individuals in Ignite, you know what I mean? But bar a
Exactly.
Yes.
couple. Saipei's like Saipei, Aramori has a big fan base.
Hmm.
There are certain individuals, but it's
Just
not. There
majority.
needs to be more. Like there needs to be
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I will say, I mean, to what dig first of all, number one searched Ignite player from last year. Just saying, right here, talking to it, right here.
Don't want to toot their own horn or everything or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I think they tried during the China LAN last year.
Hmm.
We had like we were there for 3 weeks. The first week was like all media. It was like every single day they took us to some. I mean, different teams went different places. They took us to some remote village and wanted to film content and like stuff like that. So they they tried, but I don't know. Maybe they just didn't like it, or I don't know how much actually got to Ignite and was on camera for everybody else to see, but I do know
Mhm.
that we did a lot of filming. A
Yeah.
lot of filming. So I don't know, maybe it's just like they're just so far and it's just hard to do storylines without everybody being in person. But
Mhm.
for that event, there was a lot of filming being done and a lot of stuff being done. So
It would
Yeah.
just be
I don't
nice
know.
to see them put the players up on pedestals a bit more. I guess that ties into the uh, players' behavior as well in general. But like, I just remember I used to watch a lot of Valorant, and like when they do like the walkouts or like before the game,
Yep.
they're playing like highlights. They've got like intros for everyone. Like there is like hype around the players. Like imagine if like I feel like the people that are tapped in know like, oh, Terra's Thanos,
Yep.
things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think Rivals like the stream like puts the players on pedestals. It's kind of just like, here's a waiting screen, here's this, here's
Yeah,
the
that's
the,
fair.
the production quality, it could go up in my
Even
opinion.
the
Yeah,
social
sure.
media
Yeah.
posts.
Yeah, and the
The
social
social
Yeah,
media
media
posts
I
are
posts,
really
agree.
bad.
yes.
The thing
Mm.
is, what really like with Fortnite, like you said, Cuffy, all the pros there are well known. Not because just like Fortnite is like, you know, it was a popular game. Like they took advantage of like them being professional and they like started making content. I think like you are more, you're a perfect example of this. You're a former pro and making content, you know, like there's not too many pros that do that in Rivals.
Right.
Like I feel like you have to do both because like
I
then they get to
agree.
know you. You can be good at the game, but like nobody wants to like watch someone that doesn't like talk to the community, don't like have a personality with you guys,
Yeah.
like the
I
community.
do have something to say about that though, because I know
Hmm.
what it was like trying to make content during university. And remember, we said that these players are young. So a
Hmm.
lot of these orgs don't have financial support. Well, I'm speaking mainly for Europe. Obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
America is better in that sense. Um, it is very hard to scrim for 4 to 6 hours every single day and then think about content that's not making you money initially when you also need to make money around that, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the thing. We need more support for young people in esports. I think that's the big overarching
Hmm.
um,
Mm.
problem because it's not really seen as a viable career path in most places, the
Yeah.
same way sports is, if that makes sense. And think
Mhm.
Yeah.
about it. Why do we watch sports? We watch sports for the storylines. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the exact same thing, but the difference is those people can afford to do media days and stuff like that, or to have their own social media following if they desire to do that, because they are getting paid 30, 50 times more than us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It's
It's
I
not an
can't
easy answer,
yeah,
man.
no,
It's not.
it's not. It's such a complicated, everything can improve everywhere.
Yeah,
And
because it's
and
on both
but here's
sides.
the,
Yeah,
it could improve
both can
anywhere
improve.
everywhere and nothing could change. It could just be that people don't want to watch pro rivals. That could be somehow what it is. But we I think we still got to try. I find it entertaining.
Yeah, I do
Clearly
too.
lots of people do as well. Um,
I feel like sorry to cut you off, Jackson, but I just gotta say this. I feel like you gotta give them something to watch. I already said that, but like you gotta give them something, man. Like I don't know, like I watch it because like I know like Aramori who used to play, like I know you guys, like I know the content creators that are in there, like the small like section that were professional players and they like made content, you know, like I want to see them play, you know what I mean? Like it is on both sides, you know, like you gotta like Cuffy said, the people that scrim for 6 hours a day, they don't feel like making the content after
I
so like
sympathize
because
with
they don't
that.
get paid enough.
There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. I can't fault anyone in this scene for not wanting to make content when they are competing like that. Like it's hard to even balance a normal
Exactly.
job doing that. Like
Yeah.
outside of trying to do like we were talking about content creation earlier and trying to balance and post as much as you can. But like outside of this, I'm doing golf. That's
Hmm.
my job. So I come home. A round takes 4 hours. I work for another 4. Come home, whatever. and try to organize all this. It's a lot to do. And then imagine if you were trying to do that, you're still working and you're trying to compete. Like it's too much. It's too much to
And
expect.
studying on top
Yeah,
of that.
and studying. Some of these people are in
Exactly.
Yeah.
school. Yes.
Yeah, like
It's-
for me, I have nothing. I'm gonna be honest. I have nothing but consecration. I'm blessed with that, but like I understand all the people that like can't, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
consecration's not easy. Like if everyone's doing it, but everyone doesn't make it, I don't know how like people say it's easy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's
But
hard.
yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I don't want to hold everyone all day. We do have this great season to get back to. I just have one last question about the game. We're going to the game. I know we've talked a lot about outside of the game today. What do you both think of Jubilee in terms of how she's going to fit into competitive? Do you think she's skilled? Have they added like a very high skill ceiling support this time? What do each of you? I want both your opinion because he's going to talk about it from the coach's side. I saw you playing her on stream today. You seem to be enjoying her. So.
What do you think, Cuffy? I want to hear your opinions first before I say mine. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think when it comes to a character like Jubilee, you need to look closely to the numbers. I think the numbers will heavily impact how strong she is. If her numbers are too low, I feel like she can be quite weak, but if her numbers are too high, she could be a bit too overpowered. Do you see what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
the hard thing. The general consensus amongst pros right now is that she kind of sucks, is what a lot of people have said. However, it's day one, and just like what you said about Black Cat,
Mm-hmm.
We were
you know what I mean?
so
People don't know how
wrong
to
on
play her.
that. So
Wait, but
wrong.
Yeah.
how would you judge that if like pro play, you know, like how obviously pro play is different than ranked, like different comps work in pro than ranked.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
when you're saying she's weak, is it just overall or just pro?
this is why I made sure I said general consensus because I
Mhm.
don't know how people make these conclusions. It could be
Mhm.
something as small and useless as healing output. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
people can see, oh, my Jubilee players aren't healing that much, and
Yeah.
then come to the conclusion that she is a bad character. But it's
Mhm.
way too early to say, in my opinion. I don't even think
Mhm.
that people would truly know by the time I'm competing in a week's time. Do you see what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I haven't played her. I actually haven't played a ranked game of
Mhm.
her Josh yet, so I'm only judging it based on other people playing her, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah,
I think she's broken.
I
I
I
think
think so
she's
too.
busted.
I think so
And I
too.
agree. Hello, cat. I agree with what you were saying about the numbers thing, about how, like, oh, if her numbers are low, she's not going to be so great. If her numbers are high, she's going to be busted. Her numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God. A
That
cap goes
damage
on me.
is
I just
insane.
beam that guy. He just dies. It's
Now
insane.
he gets
It's
Thanos
insane.
snapped. It's bad.
And
Yes,
It's
there
crazy.
was like a game I had earlier today. A Spidey went on me for like half a second. I just all headshot him. He died. That tell your players to play the hood team up with that character. Don't play the blade. Play the hood. Get the
Play the
headshot
hood.
damage and get the life steal. Oh my
Oh, you're
God,
giving me PTSD and nightmares right
she's
now. Holy.
busted. It's like not even funny how broken she is. Her whole gameplay loop right now, and everybody's been asking me this all day. Like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Is just how much can I proc her hood team up, which is the bright red beam, and when she procs that, has increased fire rate and she can headshot. And
Mhm.
so the entire time I'm playing her, it's just keeping that up the entire time. And there was a fight I had in the last game before, the podcast, where
Mhm.
I literally had it up for like 45 seconds straight of just max numbers, just
Mhm.
just
it's
going crazy.
it's every mark. It's
Like you
insane.
had a
It's
jackpot on a slot machine. It keeps going up.
Yes,
It's
and it's
insane.
in my brain. It's just bing, 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 bing. That
it's
I'm hitting the
Yeah.
jackpot in my brain too. It's awesome. I, Cuffy, I'm serious. That character is gonna be insane. I'm so serious. Like
Okay, cool.
what
That's
about
her
good to know.
only
That is good to know.
weakness, her only weakness is if she like insta dies because all of her self healing is like over time. So I think maybe she might need a bubble from like a really fast engage or something like that. But other than that, she's broken.
what
She's
about her
actually
ult? I
so
haven't heard
good.
anyone talk about her ult. Is it
I was just
impactful
about
at
to say
all?
that. Yeah.
Eh,
Eh.
it's
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 okay.
it's niche.
It's okay.
It's all
It
right.
it it does. It's like any other support ult. Like you'll live ults, right? You can die through your ult a little bit easier, I think, than like a
Yeah.
Luna or something. But it's okay. I've C9'd people with it, like just
Mhm.
throwing him off point, right? Like, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not good. I don't think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of so with that, like but like her base damage with that team up just makes up for that 100 times over.
Oh yeah, she just gets her laser beam for free
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
heal
during her
600
whole. It's
HP in
insane.
like 1 second. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
not even. It seems pretty. It seems strong, to say the
Is
least.
she diveable like easily, or what
Yeah.
would you say? Yeah,
Yeah, she
besides
is.
like you having to aim.
Yeah, I do think there's like a playstyle swap of like if the enemy team's playing like poke brawl sort of stuff, you can absolutely just throw your orbs in there,
Mhm.
anti them all, blind them all, and laser beam and go fucking crazy. But if the enemy team is playing dive and you know that, you can play a little bit safer, play in rooms, bounce your ball in the rooms, right? Uh, and just kind of like live that way. But yeah, I would say she is a little bit weaker to dive for sure,
Mhm.
for sure. But I don't know. She kind of has hands. She kind of fights back. To be fair.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of damage. It's gonna be cool to see. I'm excited. Well, thank you guys both. Unless you have anything else to add on Jubilee, Cuffy. I hope we were able to ask you guys both enough questions in this time. We obviously don't want to keep everyone all day. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for doing this on
Gotta get back
update
to the
day.
season.
This is probably the only day I would have been able to do this week, so it
Mhm.
kind of just all works out perfectly. Thank you guys so much for both responding to my TikTok video. That's my biggest video I've ever done. I can't believe that happened. That was really cool.
Cuffy and Aramori,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for the
Thank-
opportunity.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
really
of course.
appreciate
Thank
you
you for
guys.
thinking of me. It's very very cool to meet you guys, and I had a
You're
blast.
welcome.
I had a fun time.
Yeah, thank you. Guys.
Likewise, I feel like it worked out for all of us, not only schedules wise, but I feel like us talking about the new character the same day is really good. I
Yeah, it
like that
is.
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
like no one really knows,
We'll
we
get
have
it
Make a
out to the.
TikTok on it.
We're gonna
Make a TikTok.
we're gonna get it out ASAP, right?
Aramori's thoughts on Jubilee.
Yes.
Aramori said
It's gonna be on.
Jubilee's
It's gonna be on
broken.
TikTok. We're on Spotify and we're on YouTube. Okay, it's gonna be on everything.
W plug, man.
Hey, I had to do it. I had to. All right, thank you guys so much for coming on Rivals Voices. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna let you guys
Yeah.
go. Get back to what
Have a
you
good
what you were
one.
Have a
doing.
great day. Have a good rest of y'all's season, and ignite the battle,
GGs.
guys.
Yeah,
Thank you,
ignite the
thank you.
battle. GG's. Bye
Ignite the
everyone.
battle.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
See
Bye.
you, Cuffy. Bye. Nice to meet you.
See you.